All right, we got to see some Desmond Ridder, and I got to be honest, I thought he played very well. I think Desmond Ridder has been one of those guys who, some of these young quarterbacks have come in and shown why they weren't drafted in the first round. I think Desmond Ridder has come in and shown why some people thought he should have been drafted in the first round. You can certainly see the positives there, so let's get into the film, talk about what I liked about him, and then I'll give my sort of general thoughts as a whole at the end of this video. So let's start off with this play. What's going to happen here is, it's going to be a zone coverage play that they're going up against, and that's something you see in preseason, right? You see a lot of basic coverages. They're not getting too fancy here. And so one of the advantages you obviously have play calling is that if you see zone coverages coming up a lot, well then just run the concept that can beat that type of coverage. Makes some sense. So that's what the Falcons are doing here. They have a coverage designed to beat they have a concept designed to beat this coverage. You see the route that I've circled in white. That's really where Ridder is going to want to throw here. Look at how right when this play begins, Ridder is going to look down the field and make this throw, and you have a wide open player. Yes, it's blurry. There's no way to get a still frame of it without it being blurry, so doing what I can here. But, this is the kind of thing that Ridder has shown that he can be successful at. In a good situation, he's going to be good, which maybe seems like that should be obvious, but it at the very least shows that as a rookie, you're not going to go out and embarrass yourself. If you're in a good situation, you can be successful, whereas, we saw some rookies, especially last year, really struggle even in good situations. That doesn't seem to be the case for Ridder. Seems like if you put him in a good situation, he'll be all right. Just given when there's easy throws, he does a good job. Something like this is kind of an extension off of that, but it's a little bit different. So the concept itself, again, kind of similar to that last play. It's a good route against this type of coverage. Atlanta will run a play action on this play because I swear half of Arthur Smith's passing plays are off of play action. So because of that, that means that linebackers could move in, meaning the only player who could really cover this route is going to be the corner who's on that side of the field. Look at how right when this play begins. So you're going to notice Desmond Ridder runs a play action, and there's a wide receiver who currently has inside leverage, and that's the key. That's the main thing. That is why Ridder is already going to make this throw. You could argue two different schools of thought here of, hey, make sure the guy gets open, don't just throw it because he has inside leverage, but I would argue the opposite. It's the NFL, guys don't get wide open. You got to figure out these small things to give yourself an advantage and when you're going to make the throw a little bit earlier, because if you wait for guys to get, Alabama open, as Ryan Fitzpatrick told Tua, guys are never going to get open. He might have said college open, not Alabama open, but you get the idea. You see someone who has a favorable situation, throw it to the favorable situation. And also, Ridder's going to make a really accurate throw here. So, listen, that's something that I also talk about a lot on this channel, which is accuracy makes you look smarter. If you have good accuracy, it makes these questionable decisions, which to me this one isn't really a questionable decision, it's a right one, but even when there are questionable decisions, being accurate, it's going to make your questionable decision look smarter because you hit the throw. I also like this play a lot. It's sort of just good understanding, really, defense. So the Jets have been playing pretty much cover 2 and cover 4 this entire time that Desmond Ridder has been out there. So that's what he's expecting. Yes, there always could be an exception. You can never bank on the fact that the opposing team will continue to run the same coverage that they've been running. However, if you're Desmond Ridder, you can feel pretty good if you see two safeties deep, which they're not disguising it. There's two safeties deep here. They could be disguising it, but it doesn't seem like they are. So again, pay attention. Make sure that they're not disguising it right when you take the snap, but assuming they're not, what's the coverage probably? It's probably going to be quarters coverage, because if it was cover 3, that would mean a safety comes back in. So, and they haven't been playing much cover 2. So cover 4, that's what a reasonable expectation can be. You can expect that to be the coverage. And with this route concept, you see the route that will get open on this play if it is in fact quarters coverage. And so these are the little things you can do as a quarterback just to help yourself out. You can look at this and say, okay, this is probably going to be the coverage. We have a concept that can beat this coverage. So I'm going to double check before I make the throw. But as long as I read this play correctly, as long as this isn't a clever disguise, we should be in good shape. So Desmond Ridder takes the snap, runs a play action, looks downfield, sees it is in fact quarters coverage, and he has a wide open player. That's just good football. Yes, you can sit here and say, well, I mean, look at how open he was. But there's more to it than that. He knew the right guy to look towards. And again, this isn't super complex. You expect your NFL quarterbacks to notice stuff. You do. I think that's reasonable to say, but do you expect your NFL rookie quarterbacks to notice stuff? Maybe not. And the fact that he's doing it, it's only good in my opinion. we saw stuff like this, which is his athleticism. This guy can definitely move. There's no denying that. He is an athlete. And this play, it's kind of what is going to happen. So Ridder takes the snap. He runs a play action, because again, they love their play actions. And he doesn't love what he sees down the field. I don't know if that's smart or not smart, because I can't see what's down the field. What I can see is there is a clear gap opening up for him to run through. And if you can run like Desmond Ridder, you should run when you have a gap like this, where you can easily just step up and pick up some yards on a 2nd down and 8. Look, as you see, Ridder reads this play. He is going to step off, and he is going to go over and pick up the 1st down right there. So again, just a smart play, a smart read for him to read that situation. There was a hold on that play, so that allowed him to get through. But I mean, okay, he didn't know that there was a hold there. Like that, I think that was sort of irrelevant. He saw the big gap. He went through the big gap. Maybe he would have been tackled if it wasn't for the hold. But at the same time, I don't know if that's totally fair to hold against him. No pun intended with the hold. That's just how I view it. So yeah, that's what I thought about Desmond Ridder. I thought he played well. Like, I really have no real strong critiques to give of his game. And at the end of the day, if you're not giving me a reason to really criticize you too strongly, you're doing good. That's the goal at the end of the day. Because if you watch the channel, you know I will nitpick relentlessly. If you even think about missing one throw slightly by 2 inches, it's getting put in the video. I really didn't have any of that. I thought that most of what he did was good. I thought that he's, again, running an offense well. The things that impressed me about Kenny Pickett, I would say I'm a little bit more impressed with Pickett, but I would still say I've been impressed with Desmond Ridder, and I thought that this game in particular was a good game from him. And, he threw a Hail Mary in his first game in an NFL uniform, so that worked out well. And now he's following it up with a good performance in this game. And I think the reality is, you probably are going to start. Ridder's getting playing time, right? He's shown that he can play well enough to warrant a spot. You might start off with Mariota just because NFL coaches like to start off with veterans for whatever reason. But you just got to think, if Ridder's playing well this preseason, put him in the game, right? Put him in the game. Let him see what he does in an NFL uniform. Mariota is a fine quarterback. You are not going too many places with Mariota. You might be going places with Ridder, and if they were able to find a 3rd-round pick that can be a successful quarterback, well, there's a lot of value in that, especially right away with a, even cheaper than normal rookie deal for a quarterback. So, but again, can't get too ahead of ourselves. There's no evidence strongly to support that playing well in the preseason means you'll be successful, but there is evidence to support that if you don't play well in the preseason, you might not be successful. So you at least have that going for you, is you've passed the first test. So that's what I think about Ridder's performance. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from y'all. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.